Of course, Alberta's Premier Daniel Smith really pushing the idea of another pipeline from Alberta to British Columbia's west coast so that we can increase our exports of oil to Asia, to China, and to other markets. The problem is, though, that in Smith's view, there are lots of laws and regulations that the Trudeau government put in place previously that have limited development in the oil sands, and she doesn't like things like, for example, the tanker ban on BC's west coast that keeps oil tankers from sailing in the northern coast off Vancouver Islands, and also doesn't like the emissions cap the federal government has in place right now that limits the total amount of emissions from the oil sands to a certain level. She wants those things changed. According to this report in the Globe and Mail today, those things are being discussed, and there's possibly some movement on it, maybe even a partial suspension or changes to the way the tanker ban works, possibly removing the industrial carbon tax, as well as lowering or at least relaxing or eliminating the emissions cap. And in return, Alberta is going to be required to put a lot of money into this Pathways Alliance, basically a massive carbon capture and storage project that would take the emissions from the oil sands and try and keep them in the ground so they don't increase our overall emissions use. The big fly in the ointment here is going to be British Columbia. David Eby, the new Democrat premier, does not like the idea of another pipeline through his area. He says changing the tanker ban is going to upset a lot of the Indigenous groups who have to be consulted in order to get these projects built. So looks like now we're on the cusp of an agreement between Ottawa and Alberta. The hard part, though, FaisaML, is going to be getting British Columbia and Indigenous communities on side with another pipeline. And then ultimately we need to see if there's a private sector proponent, someone who's going to come in there, so a company like Enbridge or TransCanada Pipeline, who are going to put up the tens of billions of dollars to get this thing built. Be a while yet, even with this sort of marginal development, that there is some talks going on and progress getting close to a memo of understanding between Ottawa and Alberta. We're not there yet, and it's in terms of getting shovels in the ground on this project.